Parashat Tisa b'siyata dishmaya. So basically, it seems very clear for Parashat Tisa that it's not good to count people. If you count people, ma koreh, Hashem said there will be negef, will be a special disease, and people gonna die. So what do we have? In one end we have you said don't count, but if you count, make sure you give machatzit shekel. So don't count and don't give machatzit shekel. What do you do it bichlal if the whole counting itself is a problematic stuff? We shouldn't count people.
No, machatzit shekel is not problematic, no?
No, but you said לא טוב לה, שתרצה, when you want to count, then...
Oh, do it via machatzit
right.
shekel.
Another concern, Rashi emphasized that the old money of machatzit shekel, what they did with it?
Well, for the Mishkan.
Yeah, so there were three of them, but this one is referring to the one for the korbanot.
Oh.
For korbanot.
So they had to give it anyways.
So, שואל ליאור, רש"י אומר, by the way, כי תישא,
שלא יקנו.
כשתחפוץ לקבל סכום עניינם, if you want to know how much they are, then you should count it, רש"י הראשון. כשתחפוץ לקבל זכות מניינים, if you want to know the counting, then you should do מחצית השקל. That means it's optional. But it's not optional, you need it for the actual קורבנות, you need to do מחצית השקל. וייטר, כי תישא, רש"י אומר, מה זה תישא? לשון קבלה. מה אתה מקבל פה? You're going to receive the number of the accounting of בני ישראל.
מה הוא אומר שזה?
כי תישא לשון קבלה. כי תישא, you receive the accounting of בני ישראל. So number one, כי תישא, the word תישא in Hebrew means להרים, to lift up, נכון? So, if כי תישא means להרים, to lift up, what has to do counting with lifting up? What do you lift up when you count something? You don't lift up anything. The old word of כי תישא, if you're going to lift up, it means getting the count of Bnei Israel, you're not lifting up anything. Why this is the name of this parasha? By the way, I don't know why I never asked this question. כי תישא, מה אתה מרים פה? You're not lifting anything.
What should have said that? כי תספור?
כן, מה זה לישא? You're not lifting anything.
כי תספור זה
וייטר, says the Torah, ונתנו איש כופר נפשו. What's kofar? In English, how do you say kofar?
Ransom.
Ransom nafsho. So how do you do kofar? נכון? So we have the similar concept of kofar by shor niskal. If somebody damaged, if somebody owns an ox, a cow, who killed another fellow, another Jew, he needs to pay. If somebody has a cow who killed another fellow, he needs to pay kofar, ransom. How much he needs to pay kofar? It's vary according to the value of the person that.
In insurance, we call it human life value.
Okay. So here the question is, the kofar over here, so meaning kofar is always supposed to vary, nachon? By the value. How much is the kofar over here? By the case. How much the kofar over here? Equal. How is that always equal? Same amount. Set amount. This should be set amount if kofar is supposed to be based on the value of the person.
This is kofar nafsho.
יפה. So you have to know what's the kofar of your nefesh. כן, I never, נכון, שאלות טובות. Now, זה ייתנו. מה רש"י אומר זה ייתנו? רש"י אומר זה ייתנו, הקדוש ברוך הוא took the coin and he showed משה רבנו בשקל, או שקל או אף השקל, השם שורת, השם showed משה רבנו a coin with a value, with a weight of half a shekel, and he showed Moshe Rabbeinu, this is the coin that you guys needs to give. That doesn't make sense. We know was one more time in the Torah that Hashem showed Moshe Rabbeinu. When?
Another one?
Hashem showed. So here Hashem showed Moshe Rabbeinu in fire. The matbea, the coin of in fire, he shows the coin. This is what you have to give for machatzit shekel. Was one more time that Hashem showed in fire. When?
מה fire?
No. The menorah. The menorah. So Rashi says, why Hashem showed it in fire? So Rashi over there said that it was very complicated to do the menorah. So therefore, מקשה אחת. So after all of the details how you do the menorah, then Hashem showed Moshe Rabbeinu in fire how the menorah is supposed to look like. So I might understand why over there it's needed. Also over there you need to explain. If you're giving me all the details, why do you need to show it to me at the end? Meaning, don't give me the details, just show me what do you want. You know, it's so hard to describe something when one picture equal 1,000 words, okay? So if Hashem showed the menorah already, why does it need to give the details? But let's say over there, Hashem needs to show the menorah because it was very difficult to do it. What's difficult over here about מחצית השקל? That Hashem needs to give you a coin of fire to show you, ככה זה נראה. מה, אני לא יודע, מחצית השקל, especially, the Torah described very clear. The Torah described the weight. 20 גרה שקל, שקל it's 20 גרה, גרה it's the weight. So half of it is 10 גרה. So you know how much is מחצית השקל. What's difficult that I need to show it in fire? What's the age of counting? So we know, מבין 20 שנה ומעלה. למה? When is the person חייבים מצוות? מבין 13. Why is the age starting בכלל at the age of 20? כן. Then, what we do with מחצית השקל, we're bringing קורבנות, נכון? מה הקשר בין הקורבנות לבין, you count עם ישראל, and בני ישראל, in order for them not to die, you don't count them, you count מה? The money. So then money goes to קורבנות. מה הקשר to קורבנות? I mean, if Hashem needs money for קורבנות, do fundraising for the קורבנות. But why the counting of people, that's supposed chesed funds? What do you need? Why is that supposed to be the specific money for קורבנות? Interesting, the Gemara asked in Bobebasre that Moshe Rabbeinu asked HaKadosh Baruch Hu, במה תרום קרן ישראל? How would the crown of Am Yisrael will be lifted? So the Gemara said, Hashem told them, B'chi Tisa, when you count Bnei Israel, that's how the Am Yisrael will be lifted. Why, when we're being counted, this is Am Yisrael being lifted? He said, B'ma tarum, how would God elevate the crown of Am Yisrael? He said, no, when you count Am Yisrael, the crown of Am Yisrael will be elevated. What has to do with the other? You're getting numbers of people, and that's how you elevate the crown of Am Yisrael. So, so the real pshat over here, what really, the interesting that we have the word, what's going to happen over here? Negev, נכון? Negev, it's the plague, נכון? מגפה. So the word Negev appeared somewhere else, where? In Parashat Pinchas, Parashat Korach. After Hashem wiped Korach, Bnei Israel complained to Moshe Rabbeinu. And they said, Moshe Rabbeinu, you killed Am Yisrael. And then was Negev in Am Yisrael, was a plague in Am Yisrael. And after was a plague in Am Yisrael, Hashem brought the Ktoret. After was Negev in Am Yisrael, Hashem brought the Korban, Ktoret. So Moshe, it said that Moshe Rabbeinu was plagued in Am Yisrael when Am Yisrael said, Atem amitem ekal Hashem, you killed Am Yisrael. So Moshe Rabbeinu told Elazar HaKohen, look, if there is Negev, take Ktoret and bring Ktoret. Lama Ktoret is the remedy for Negev. Why Ktoret is the remedy for Negev, nachon? And what's the connection? What's the word Negev? Here we have the word that will be Negev, if there will be counting for Am Yisrael. And when Bnei Israel complain on Moshe and Aaron, the word Negev. What's special about Negev? That's the problem. But where we're supposed to start is where do we know where the remedy of Ktoret came from? When Hashem asked Moshe Rabbeinu, when Hashem was about to give the Torah to Bnei Israel, Bnei Israel said to the Malachim, the angels said to Hashem, Torah, Chemda, special for you. You're going to give it to human. Male Yilud Isha Benenu, it was burned by a woman. So Hashem said, Moshe Rabbeinu, go answer them. And after he answered them, he told them, look, יצאתם ממצרים, you get out of Egypt, שיום שבת לקדשו, do you have יצר הרע? And then everybody said, okay, very nice, great answer. And everybody gave him a reward, a special, they compensate him. And the Malach HaMavet, what is Malach HaMavet?
Angel of death.
And this gave him this special. He said, you know what, when it will be death, you bring the Ktoret, you know the Ktoret, okay? You bring the Ktoret, and with the Ktoret, This is how you prevent to have negev, to prevent magefa. Why is that? After Moshe Rabbeinu disproved the Malachim, this is what the Malach HaMavet gave him, that the Ktoret, if there is a negev, is going to end up the negev. What's special about the Ktoret? What's going on with negev? So in order to understand, we have to go back to understand what happened over there in the dialogue between. If Hashem said, the Malachim asked Hashem, why do you give the Torah to human? Who did they ask Hashem? What Hashem said? Told Moshe Rabbeinu, go answer them. Hashem, if you have a good answer, you should answer it yourself. נכון? Why do you need Moshe Rabbeinu to give the answer to the Malachim? So what's going on?
הוא לא צריך להסביר לעצמו במלאכים.
So the pshat, לא, הוא צריך להסביר להם, you have to answer them. Hashem told Moshe Rabbeinu, you answer the Malachim.
Wait, see, Rafi
לא,
said,
אבל אני אומר,
why did he have to explain to them?
But you should explain to them. I mean, that's a better question.
רגע, מה שמעת, מה שמעת Hashem was telling Moshe Rabbeinu to answer them, that means the Malachim had an expectation from Hashem that Torah would not be given to
Human. Yeah, obviously they said, not expectation, they said very clear. Why are you giving it to human?
No, but Hashem gave them that expectation. That's what I'm trying to say. Otherwise, they would never have said that.
Yeah, they assumed it shouldn't be to human, right, exactly. So what was the whole dialogue over there? What happened? Let's start this Hashem. So, Malachim had a good ta'ana. Torah, it's spiritual, נכון? Full of ruchaniyut. Man is physical, gashmiyut. What one has to do spirituality of the Torah with the human being? Human are animals, animalistics. What has to do with that together? Moshe Rabbeinu had to answer the Malachim and he said the following. He said, the Torah, it's worthless when the Torah is by you. The whole purpose of the Torah, it's to change from the physical to spiritual. Changing from the animalistic part of that into spirituality. In the Torah sitting by you doesn't create any change. There is no value to it. When the Torah comes to us, he said, we have Yetzer Hara, nachon? We have an ability to take the Torah and to convert it the most powerful machine ever. When you leave the Torah by you, you're destroying the Torah. Meaning, he's telling the Malachim, if the Torah is by you, you are destroying the Torah. When you're bringing me over the Torah, when the Torah come to us, we change, we redefine what's the Torah, what's the meaning of the Torah, which means, we know that the Torah says that when the Am Yisrael were in Har Sinai, Paska Zohamatan, their Zohama, their being dirty from the animal part of us, had stopped. Therefore, the Gemara says, therefore, the Gemara says that Paska Zohamatan means that the Am Yisrael, any animal, any human being, his body being fed by animalistic power. Let's call it this way. The Gemara says, how come we are not allowed to eat basar, meat and fish, and goyim allowed to eat
Meat and milk.
meat and fish? So the Gemara says the goyim, their body, it's already messed up, and therefore they can eat it. Our body got detox. Paska Zohamatan was no more, is not dirty anymore. After Matan Torah, the power of our body runs by the energy, no more diesel. Our energy, it's gas, it's a pure stuff, that's our energy. So our energy after Matan Torah, it's not anymore ruchani, it's not anymore physicality. The energy of our body after Matan Torah is...
It's not materialistic, it's spiritual. It's
right.
not materialistic, it's
So
spiritual.
the energy after Matan Torah became a spiritual energy, not physical energy. So we redefine the Malachim. Before Matan Torah, Hashem said that after Matan Torah, Paska Zohamatam, Am Yisrael is not dirty anymore. Because we're being fueled by animalistic power, and now our energy becomes from spiritual, through the Torah. That's what's defined who we are. That's step one. By the way, therefore, when famous teacher said that Torah lo b'shamayim is not in the shamayim. Ma pshat lo l'shamayim? When we receive the Torah, basically, we redefine what is Torah about. So no one in the shamayim has the right to say anything about the Torah, including Hashem. Because voice, the Gemara says, voice from heaven came, and they said, Lo b'shamayim, it's not from the Shamayim. Because the Torah is giving, and we redefine what's the Torah. Meaning, let's put it, the same Torah that there is by Malachim, was by Malachim, is not the same Torah that we have today. Like a husband and a wife. It's not the same woman after you married her. You change her, she's a better person, you're a better person, you redefine yourself, and therefore we also redefine the Torah to be something else. But in order for us to redefine the Torah, what do we had to go through? One individual cannot redefine the Torah. The dialogue between the was all Chachamim at the time with the oven, whether if it was a Tanro Shel Achnai was special oven, if it's Tameh or Tahor, and the Torah, and they said, voice from heaven came and it said it's pure. Says it's not b'shamayim because achre rabim leatot, we go by majority. What's giving us the ability to connect to the Torah, it's us as majority, as a tzibur. So in order for us to be able to use the Torah, to be empowered by the Torah, we must be as a group, as a tzibur, together. If we're not as a tzibur, we don't have the power, the energy to receive from the Torah. Meaning, by the way, that's why Negev means a major disease, נכון? Negev, מגפה, a pandemic to happen to a lot of people.
אז זה מה שנגב?
The only,
pandemic?
yes,
Disease?
right. What in history we see that we have Negev, if when you disconnect yourself from the tzibur.
Corona.
Right. So therefore the Malachim said, if there is a Negev meaning Negev, it's not a punishment. It's an automatic reaction. If we are not connected to the Torah, it's a reaction. It's a result. Negev, it's not a punishment. Mita, death, it's a punishment. Negev caused death, but it's not a punishment. It's a automatic result. When you count people, you have Negev. Over there, they said to Moshe Rabbeinu, you killed Am Hashem, right? Meaning they separated themselves from the Am. You're not part of the nation. Then, as a result, you have a...
The spies you have it.
Yeah, exactly. As a result, when you disconnect yourself from the tzibur, or you separate the tzibur, the result is a Negev. By the way, also, it's not a punishment, it's a result. We'll see us in a second. What's the remedy? Malach HaMavet told Moshe Rabbeinu, if there is Negev, now you explain to me, Malach HaMavet said to Moshe Rabbeinu, that your connection to Torah, that's what's giving you life. When you're losing connection from the tzibur or from the Torah, you have no life. How do you bring yourself back? You bring the Ketoret. Ketoret is this week parasha. What was outstanding by Ketoret? There were 11 spices in the Ketoret. One of them was levona. Levona is the bad spices. What's the Ketoret does? It takes the levona, which is the most disgusting one, and without the levona, the good smell cannot be a smell. Levona, it's the physical part, and Ketoret is the spiritual part. When you bring the Ketoret, you understand that you need the physical part to be part of the spiritual, and that makes the levona into something good. חלבנה. It's a very awful smell, but together with the good smell, that becomes an unbelievable smell. So the remedy, if you understand, if you disconnect yourself from the tzibur, from the Torah, that means that you don't understand that your body, which getting chayut from the Torah, that's what's defined who you are. When you bring the Ketoret, you understand that what's spiritual, it's the essential for the Torah, which means unbelievable. When you disconnect yourself from the Torah, from the tzibur, who do you hurt? The Torah. The Torah needs you more than you need the Torah. Torah needs you. Without you, the Torah is worthless. That's the yesod of Moshe Rabbeinu. When you bring the Ketoret, you understand that the Ketoret needs the chelbena, the bad one, more than the chelbena can be by itself, but the Ketoret cannot be functioned without the chelbena. The chelbena is teaching that the necessity of the Ketoret for the majority of the collaboration. Same thing, the whole idea of when there is a Negev, if you stay away from the Torah, that means you don't understand how important you are for the Torah. That's why you let yourself leave the Torah. So you need to understand how important you are through a Ketoret, and then, just like a Ketoret is something managed, define the Ketoret, just how we are our physicality defines the Torah. Who we are define what is the Torah about. Unbelievable understanding. When you count people, מה קורה? Counting means I'm separating myself.
No.
Counting, it's giving individuality to people. When we are a group together, we're not being count, we are Am Yisrael together. When Am Yisrael being count, you're becoming individual. You're not anymore part of the tzibur. So if you're becoming individual, you're not part of the tzibur, what's going to happen? As a reaction, there will be negative. It's automatically because you're not. So who's getting hurt when you're becoming individual? The Torah. נכון? There is a machloket in the Gemara. Who do you pay kofar? What's the payment of kofar? Of a ransom when an ox guard another human being? Rabbi Shmuel and Rabbi Kiva. One of them said you have to pay the damager value or the damagee value. The Rambam pasking that kofar indo the damagee. So mean when we give kofar over here, we are the one who pays is the damager. He needs to pay to the damagee. Who did we damage?
The Torah.
The Torah. We damage Hashem. Because when you leave Hashem, Hashem need us. Because we define what's Torah, what Hashem is about. So when we leave Hashem, we leave the Torah, we damage the Torah. So we need to pay the kofar to Hashem for the Torah that we are living in. So what's the kofar means? Instead of me living Hashem, I'm bringing Hashem into my life. Now we understand why Hashem said, Zaytnu. Hashem showed us the coin, how much you have to give. Why did Hashem need to show us? Because Hashem said, who are you paying it to? Hashem. That's why Hashem said, this is what you need to give to me. Because we're paying it for Hashem, for the damages, we cause Hashem for living Him. But then it's not damages anymore. By the way, also the menorah. What's the menorah? Torah. The menorah represents Torah. Where is the menorah located? In the Hechal. Where was the Aron, the ark, located? In the holiness of Kodesh? HaKodashim. Why the menorah, the Torah, is outside? Because menorah, Torah represent Am Yisrael and HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Kodesh HaKodashim befnim, the holiness of is the Torah, is the ark. But the menorah represent us and Hashem bound together. So which means when we light the menorah, kiviyachol, we buying Hashem. We can. And therefore Hashem had to show us the menorah that He wants. Because just like machatzit hashekel kiviyachol, we taking a share of Hashem. When we light the menorah, we're taking a share from Hashem to us. Therefore Hashem in the menorah showed us how the menorah look like. And Hashem showed us also in machatzit hashekel, this is what I need to receive from you when you want to be away from me. Why, Bechlal, we have this concept of counting for? That's unbelievable. Being part of a Jewish community, part of the group, it's not easy. Because where are you? We all want to be individualized. Okay? We want to feel our specialty, who we are. You can be individual as long meaning within the community, the tzibur, you should create your individuality. When you leave, what do you need to do? You pay back. Meaning, I'm taking Hashem back with me. So even though in theory I left, but when I'm buying Hashem the Torah back with me, I'm still staying part of the community. You know, every community, you want me to discuss about communities a day, and I want to finish the understanding. So what do we do with the money of the korbanot? With the money that we did, what's this money represent? Me, the physicality, taking the spirituality into myself. What are the korbanot? Physicality, animal, and bringing the spirituality into the physicality. Therefore, this money must be used for the korbanot, because that's the essence of the korbanot, where we're converting or bringing it, energizing who we are, the spirituality into the physicality. I think we answer. Now we understand why it's called Parashat Tisa. What Tisa means? To elevate, nachon? That's the whole idea over here. We're elevating. When you give machatzit shekel, you elevate your physicality into the spirituality, but you're really buying it from Hashem. By the way, we didn't ask the kasha. It says that a rich guy cannot pay more, and a poor guy cannot pay less. So I can understand why a poor guy cannot pay less. Why a rich guy cannot pay more? Because if you think that you're paying for yourself, then you might be able to pay more. But what are you buying? Hashem, He defined how much you paid Him. You cannot tell Him how much His value to you. He defined His value to us. He's the one who shows us how much He's worth. This is how much He wants from us as a kofar to Him. Shel Hashem, כביכול. You're giving your kofar to who? The one that you damaged. הגמרא אומרת שמה, your kofar, but to the damagee. So you're giving to Him. So He defined how much you want. Therefore, a rich guy cannot בכלל ever define it. Therefore,
so why is it considered? Why is it considered nedava? Meaning we asked.
Okay, no, it's why it's optional. 1 second. Why it's optional? Because that's something very important. I was sitting with my tzaddik yesterday, Liao, and we were discussing he said, I have friends he's in Yeshiva in Lakewood. It's a certain friends that they're amazing in learning and everything, and they're not connected. So he told me they never made a choice to be connected. They were flow, everybody together went and learned. When you make a decision to be connected, then you can incorporate spirituality and physicality. Nobody can force you. It's got to be an optional. Nobody can force you to do it. If somebody forces you, you cannot change your physicality by force. Only by will. If you understand, I want to be connected and I want to be part of it. Therefore, the accounting was from the age of 20 and up. Mer says the real Yitzerore goes to the man, judging in Beidin Shalmana from the 20. When you connect spirituality and physicality, this is when you need to start it. But earlier, you don't need to. So I think we answer everything. I want to focus on something important, that we live on a religious community. And we need to understand, number one, that none of the community is perfect. Every community has glitches, and that's a default. There is no way to create perfect tzibur. It's impossible. We have differences. We have issues. Every community has issues, but you have to choose the community that you have the minimum amount of issues. Yet, when you're part of the tzibur, you individualize, going away. Who am I? So you can see a lot of people. I decided I don't want to dress the same way everybody dress. I need to, with classic hat and jacket. I'm not going to wear hat and jacket now. From now on, I'm going to. If you want to be individualized, you don't need to break away from the community. Your job is within the community to individual yourself. You have your own specialty. I was in Eretz Israel recently, 2 weeks ago, and here we say shalom to everybody. נכון? Hi, good Shabbos. And in Eretz Israel, nobody says shalom to anybody. Because we're all the same, everybody all the same, so nobody says shalom. So we felt different, you want to feel. So I started saying, I was walking from the Kotel back, saying good Shabbos, Shabbat Shalom to people. And there were two type of people who didn't answer. Number one, Arabs, they didn't answer Shabbat Shalom. Number two, the very religious Jews. You see a guy, beard like that, and you see they didn't answer. And so I felt that,
You were saying Shabbat Shalom to Arabs, not knowing that they were Arabs.
Yeah, and they didn't answer. And from people that didn't answer.
Shabbat Shalom.
And I said to myself right away, this is the animal part of it. Why they don't answer? Meaning, they are part of the tzibur, nachon? You expect them to react. And then I realized the problem was me. Why? We're being intimidated by tzibur. When you see people different than you, more religious, you're being intimidated. So the way I said Shabbat Shalom to those people wasn't as confident as I said to the Arabs. Because, so many Israelim look like Arabs, So I thought, it's not Israeli. But saying to somebody part of your culture, breaking something different, it's harder, much harder. So then I changed. I said, I went by the film, like by them I said, good Shabbos, extra louder, and they all responded back. Meaning we're being intimidated by the tzibur, but it's not true. The way we're looking at the tzibur, at the people, as people, look, this from people, look at ultra religious, they look scary. But look at them on the individual level. If you sit one next to one of them on the airplane, right? Matos, people realize what a human being. No, none of the chassidis who like that. And even the oversized chosis who overflow to your chair. You're sitting next to him. As soon as you start conversation with him, you see in the individual level, how special human being it is. And we are very blinded when it comes to the community. We all see everybody the same, and we are at fault. I looked at them and I was the fault because I was intimidated for the people that I shouldn't be intimidated. I should feel comfortable with. So when we want to create individuality, we need to create it within our people and treat every person as an individual. That's the avodah machatzit shekel. It's not about treating me as an individual. I have to treat my fellow Jew as individual. Because, anybody, it's happened to me, you fly, and then you see somebody from Hollywood next to you waiting for check-in.
בחתונה של משה ראיתי את כל המשפחה הבאה.
איזה משפחה?
הרב.
שלי, no, but I'm saying no. When you see, I happen to, you're waiting, and then you see somebody from Hollywood, from young Israel. Hi, how are you? Where are you going? I can see him in young Israel for 10 years. He doesn't know I'm exist, and then next פתאום אתה עכשיו in the airport. How are you? Where are you going? Very nice. By the way, you're Rabbi Edry, you this. Suddenly we're becoming friends because it's suddenly individual. We need to individual ourselves.
Over there you're not in tzibur though. Meaning over there you're not in tzibur.
Right. We need to individual every fellow Jew.
Right.
Don't look on anybody as part of the group. Don't look at yourself, but don't look on others. If you individual them, this is the highest level of spirituality in the world. The real ruchaniyut comes when you individual every human being. But if you look at them under one group, you're missing the whole point of who we are. Yiratzon number one, we should bring Hashem buy Hashem into us and treat everybody as individual.
אמן.
Man,
This is a
אין
far
מורן,
cry
אני
from
יכול
six.
לגמור מורדם.